Thank you for joining me at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Sara Meadows, and today we'll look at how to play Bill and Ted's Riff in Time. Bill and Ted's Riff in Time is a cooperative pick up and deliver game for 1 to 4 players that plays in about 60 to 80 minutes. It's designed by Jim Radford, and Warcradle Studios has sponsored this video. In Bill and Ted's Riff in Time, you take on the role of one of the members of the Wild Stallions trying to track down the personages of historical significance who are lost at all the wrong places in time. You must get those people back to the correct location and time and close the rift before it's too late. Let's set up the game. Place San Dimas disc in the center of the board and set the dial to the number of players, in our case 3. Shuffle the historic location tiles and randomly place 1 at each space on the board and set them to level 5. Shuffle the personages of historical significance deck, reveal them one at a time, and place the matching standee at each location starting with number 1. Give each player a character card and tracking token, then place their miniature on San Dimas in the center of the board. Next, you'll shuffle the objective cards and deal 2 to each player. Players will select 1 to complete and will slide it under the left side of their board. The other card will be slid under the right side of their board, and the bottom icon on that card will be used as the player's bonus action throughout the game. Shuffle the personages deck once again and reveal 1 card for each player in the game. Locate them on the board and increase the rift at their current historic location by 1. The player who can play the most excellent air guitar riff is the starting player, and once that's determined, you're ready to begin. How to play. On your turn, you will first draw a riff card and complete the action in the yellow section of the card. Most cards will have you doing things like raising the rift in a specific location or in multiple locations. Some cards will offer a choice between things like raising the rift in San Dimas or discarding cards off the deck. Some cards will require you to hop into the booth and move to a specific location. If the infinity symbol is revealed, all players must move to that location. An up arrow next to the booth means all players must eject their personage of historical significance at the current location. Many of the riff cards have additional colored sections. If the dial at the location happens to match the red or green on the card, you must also complete that section of the card. So in this example, New York is in the green section of the dial, so San Dimas must also rotate 2 times clockwise. It's excellent if you happen to draw a blue card, which may do things like give you a choice of looking at the top 3 cards and rearranging them, or lowering the rift at San Dimas. The next thing you'll do on your turn is roll your dice and perform your actions. Everyone will have at least 3 yellow wild dice available to roll at the beginning of the game. Players get 1 free re-roll, and then they'll decide how to use the actions shown on their dice and cards. Any bogus symbols must be used first and will raise the rift in the player's current location. Booth symbols will allow players to travel 1 space on the board. Players must follow the circuit paths from location to location. The interact symbol allows players to pick up, drop off, or pass a personage to another player in the same location. When a player picks up a personage, they add the standee to their booth and place that character's card in the slot on the right. Beginning on their next turn, and for as many turns as the character is in their booth, the player will gain the dice and possible actions associated with this character. Players may only roll up to 4 dice on their turn, so if extra dice are gained, they will have to choose which to use, but they must always include all the black dice they have collected. Once a player has moved to a location where the personage belongs, they may drop them off using an interact action. The standee is placed at their final destination and the card is returned to the supply. Players may now begin to use the interact action to fix the rift at that location. Once the rift hits 0, flip over the tile and permanently gain the personage card and its benefits. The blue and pink dice feature an excellent symbol, which is wild. Players may also spend 2 matching symbols either on their dice and or on their cards as an excellent action at any time. Each character also has a unique character power which may be used once per turn. Once a player has taken all the actions they would like to take, they check to see if they have completed their objective. Some objectives will take several rounds to finish, and the marker is moved to track how much they've completed. Once it's complete, the player will tuck the card on the right side of their board onto the other card. They now get the reward at the top and have an additional bonus action available for the rest of the game. The next player will take their turn, starting by flipping over a Riff card. Anytime a Riff card has the player interact with a location that has already been completed, they will take the action in the gray section of the card. In this example, the rift at Austerlitz has already been fixed, so the player will play an additional card from the Rift deck. Once every player has taken a turn, the round ends and the dial at San Dimas will rotate clockwise 1 space. Players must be excellent to each other in order to get all the percentages of historical significance back to their correct location in time and fix all of the rifts before the Rift deck runs out or before San Dimas hits critical mass and is fractured forever. If the team can do this before the time runs out, they can celebrate a successful and most excellent adventure.